Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to head into episode 10 of the weekly loot cave. The series where I go over the best farms for some of the most notable drops each week in the first Descendant. This week we've got quite a few extremely good farms, so be sure to stay tuned. Before we get into it guys, I do have to say I am a bit sick, so I apologize for the voice. Also, don't forget to like the video if it helped you, comment feedback for me down below, and subscribe if you want to see daily content for the first Descendant. Also, a quick shout out to my Twitch, guys. We are live 6 days a week, and we're having a blast on every occasion. So come, stop by, say hello. I would love to see you there. All right, we're going to start it off with the auxiliary power available from the forward base in Hagios this week. The mission of choice here is going to be the broadband fleet beacon mission. This mission is a composite mission, but it's got a lot of extermination and barrier and supply all kind of in one. A lot of kills, a lot of elites, and you're going to get a few Aux Powers for sure. It's a solid mission this week for the Aux Power. As far as rolls, I would recommend going with max HP into MP recovery out of combat. And then obviously if you're going for more of a farming role, you've got the Kuiper and module drop rate. And then, max HP is the primary role as always on that. And that is going to cover it for the Aux Power. And then jumping over to the memory this week, available from the Misty Woods and Echo Swamp. The mission of choice here is going to be the Hazy Swamp. As far as the mission, it's a solid mission, extermination mission, a lot of kills, very quick, start it where it ends. It's a classic. I really wish that there was a reactor here this week, but unfortunately we got the memory, no big deal. As far as roles, I'd go for a defense into MP recovery, and then for the farmers, go in firearm proficiency and go into gold drop rate. Again, not a terrible farm, but I think that we are starting to see a few weeks in a row here where the components are not able to be farmed to the highest capability, and I would rather just have a way to get components a little bit easier, but I digress. Let's move on to the next one. And starting off the reactors with Lepic, as always, we have got the Lepic bossing reactor available this week from the Derelict Covert in Echo Swamp. The Verdant Greenery mission is going to be the mission of choice. Now, this mission just recently got buffed as far as spawn rates, so I'm really interested to see how this is going to go. It was playing a little bit differently before. It was okay, but it wasn't the best. I wonder if it's going to be any good now. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think about this one, but as ever, you're going for the impact weapon of your choice. Really doesn't matter as long as you get Colossus damage and crit damage. You can do skill duration up in place of crit damage, but I think crit damage just takes the cake as far as damage, if you're trying to do burst, that is. And then a solid week to farm Lepics compared to the past couple that we have had. Now jumping over to Hailey, we've got her ultimate ability reactor available this week from the Ironworks and Sterile Lands. Mission of choice is going to be the weapons processing facility. It is an extermination mission. It's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. You can complete it very quick. They're all in a very small spot, and then you can just restart it very fast. It is an extermination mission, so I do like to include these, especially when they're for popular Descendants. And I think Hailey's one of those right now. I think people are just now starting to... I know people were finished with her pretty quick, but now some people that didn't buy the catalysts and activators and stuff are probably finishing her up. So a very good idea to go for Piercing Light or Afterglow as far as the sniper mounted, and then Colossus damage and crit damage for the roll, and then a solid mission nonetheless. I would say, if you get a Piercing Light or Afterglow, go with whatever you get the better roll on, because it's like a 5% damage difference, if that, for both those snipers. It's very, very, very marginal. And then segueing over to Bunny. Now, Bunny's Blue Beetle is available from the Restricted Zone and Sterile Lands this week, and the mission is the Barracks Extermination mission. Now, when I say Blue Beetle, I'm basically referencing the crit build Bunny. You can get the Impact, Electric, and Singular this week. Now, as far as the rolls, you're going to go for crit damage and crit rate. If you already have a crit Bunny, obviously you're going to want just to build on that crit damage and crit rate. Now, I will say I don't think this is a build for everything. I think you can use this build for bossing and infiltration dungeons, but I'm still going to stick to the easier farming build that I have, where you don't even use high voltage and you have no issue one-shotting most mobs in block Kuiper mining and stuff like that. But a solid choice, especially if you don't have your Blue Beetle yet with Bunny. This is an extermination mission again, so it is a quick way to get some of the ultimate reactors. And then hopping over to Ajax, Kyle, and Luna, available from the Moongrave Basin in White Knight Gulch this week. Mission of choice is one of my all-time favorites. It's the water-cooled recording device mission. The mission's insane. Honestly, it is one of the most insane missions you can do for farming. You have to make sure to leave a few people on the point, let them kind of make sure they're standing on it so the progress doesn't increase on the A point. And then you will be able to run back and forth for about 4 minutes. You don't want to have too much range on Bunny, so make sure you don't have too much range so you don't kill the people on the point. But you have free reign for about 4 minutes and you'll get a ton of loot. As far as rolls, definitely going to go for this week. Secret Garden, cooldown, and tech boost. This is probably the best farm of the week for me. I'm going to be spending a lot of time here. I need to make sure that I get a good roll for Kyle and Ajax. But yeah, Secret Garden, cooldown, tech boost, really, really good way to go. And that's what I'll be going for this week. And then we do have one for Freyna, guys. I did want to include it this week because it is Freyna and she will be coming soon. It's available from the Timberfall in Vespers. This is going to be the mission that we do whenever you activate all the points. And, we've had it before. Or sorry, not activate all the points. You just go in and basically pick up the bombs that the enemies drop. You can do it very quickly. It's the mission in the northwest corner of the map. And as far as the reason I have Freyna on here, it's mainly because Ultimate Freyna is coming soon, and there's only going to be a couple more of these before she... Actually, I think there's this one, and then the next one, like 2 weeks from now, there's going to be one in Sterile Lands, apparently. Don't know how accurate that is because a lot of these have been kind of incorrect. I think they changed the rotation. A lot of the websites that I was using to get the rotation beforehand have changed. So... I just want to get her out there because I feel like people need to farm her weapon before her ultimate comes out. So as ever, Secret Garden for this one, and then the cooldown, Toxic Tech, whatever you get, either one of those two. But cooldown, I think, is going to be the most important. And then as far as the mission, yeah, I mean, it's a decent mission, but it's not the best. I just wanted to include it because, again, Ultimate Freyna. And then segueing over to Viessa. This is a fusion reactor for Viessa, so it's only for the first 3 abilities in her kit. However, it is a fun spammy build you can run with this and do a lot of damage with her first 3 abilities. It's available from Abandoned Zone in Echo Swamp this week. And then as far as the mission, obviously we all know the mission. It's our favorite. It's a Georgie W farm right there by the fast travel. They changed the name a couple times, but nonetheless, you'll see the mission on screen here. And then the amount of reactors you're going to get is absolutely insanity. So definitely have some fun with this one. You'll get a lot of gold as well. Rolls we're going with is Clairvoyance and Kingsguard Lance. With the recent buffs, you can definitely get away with using Kingsguard Lance. And then we go with cooldown and then any combination of chill or fusion, or excuse me, cooldown and then either chill or fusion. Those are the 2 you should go for. Cooldown just to make it more spammy and you have a bit of a blast whenever you're playing Viessa with this build. I think it's really, really, really fun. Keep in mind you can't use the Transcendent mod that makes all of her abilities singular, and then also this isn't going to be a build for her ultimate ability. Obviously this goes off of fusion. Again, I just want to emphasize that, but a solid week for Viessa. And then last but not least, we have Sharen. Now, Sharen's is available from the Frozen Valley and Fortress this week. It's a very solid farm. Obviously, you're getting the particles you need for the energy activators, so it's a 2-for-1. And it is a general rounds fusion, so you can get the Thunder Cage with Sharen right now. That's my go-to, at least. I think it's just the best way to go for Sharen. I mean, you don't really need anything for my build with Sharen. I mainly just spam my first ability, but it's nice to have a Thunder Cage just in case. And then I'm going to go for crit damage mixed with either fusion or electric to get as much damage as I can. You can go for crit hit chance as well as crit hit damage as well. But I think that, going for a little bit more damage than the crit hit rate, just because of how poorly the crit hit rate can scale sometimes. Even though Sharen is good with crit hit rate, the reactors just don't have a whole lot. But a very, very, very good farm this week for Sharen. And as we all know, I am a big fan of Sharen. So I still do need a God roll of this. I don't know if this is going to be the week that I do this because I'm kind of I still have PTSD from doing this with Hailey 2 weeks ago. But nonetheless, I might give it a go this week. We'll see. It's a really solid one for sure. And then as I was alluding to, no farm for Blay, Jaber, or Valby this week. There is one for Blair in the Lost Supply Depot in Vespers, but honestly, every single farm there is just not very good. If you do need a Blair reactor, definitely head to Lost Supply Depot this week, but honestly, not really worth farming a very, very God-rolled one. Just waste of time in my opinion, but it's dropping nonetheless. F in the chat for Glay, Jaber, and Valby this week. But that is pretty much the video, guys. I seriously appreciate anyone who made it this far. I appreciate all you guys. It's a good week this week, honestly, all in all, compared to last week at least. But I am super excited for, obviously, we've got another 3 weeks for the new Ultimate Freyna and then obviously the new Scout Rifle. I want to shout out my Discord in the link. The link is in the description below. And then you've got my Patreon if you guys would like to support me there down below. Also, links to the Twitch. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, we are live 6 days a week. I would love to see you guys there. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. It's a good farming week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you're at. And I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here. Peace out. Goodbye.